Deep inside the mountains, there's a road most drivers are too afraid to talk about. People who survive driving through Black Ridge Pass once mysteriously disappear when they return a second time. Abandoned vehicles still line the cliffs to this day. GPS signals vanish inside the fog. Radio frequencies distort without warning, and nobody has ever explained what truly happens beyond the final tunnel. Uncovers the terrifying mystery behind the road nobody survives twice. Subscribe for more mysterious discoveries hidden inside our world. Then, the final emergency transmission suddenly echoed through the storm. Turn back before the road remembers you. Black Ridge Pass stretches across nearly 40 miles of isolated mountain terrain. During winter, heavy fog and sudden rock slides make the road one of the most dangerous routes in the region. But local residents believe the real danger began decades ago. In October of 1987, a truck driver named Daniel Mercer disappeared 2 days after completing a delivery through Black Ridge Pass. His truck was discovered abandoned near the northern cliffs early the next morning. The engine was still running. His wallet, keys, and unfinished coffee remained inside the vehicle, but Daniel Mercer was never seen again. At first, authorities believed he may have fallen into the surrounding forest during the storm, but over the next 20 years, more disappearances followed, and investigators slowly realized every victim shared one disturbing connection. They had all driven through Black Ridge Pass.
As records connected to Black Ridge Pass increased, investigators began searching for survivors who had managed to leave the mountain road alive. Most refused to speak on camera. Some claimed they experienced severe memory loss after crossing the pass. Others described hearing distorted voices through their vehicle radios, despite having no signal for miles. One survivor reported seeing headlights following him through the fog for nearly an hour. But every time he stopped his vehicle to investigate, the road behind him was completely empty. In 2003, a local school teacher named Rebecca Nolan became one of the few survivors willing to publicly describe what she experienced on Black Ridge Pass. According to Rebecca, the fog became so dense during her drive that visibility dropped to only a few feet. Then, her GPS suddenly stopped working. Minutes later, she claimed the road itself no longer appeared familiar. The trees, the guardrails, even the tunnel markers all appeared completely different from the route she had entered earlier that night. Rebecca later told investigators she felt as if the road had somehow changed around her. She never drove through Black Ridge Pass again. By the summer of 2025, Black Ridge Pass had become one of the most discussed, unexplained locations in the country. Online forums were filled with survivor accounts, missing person theories, and distorted photographs reportedly taken somewhere inside the mountain road. Most experts dismiss the stories as paranoia caused by dangerous driving conditions and isolation. But for documentary filmmaker Ethan Cole, the growing number of disappearances raised too many questions to ignore. Alongside camera operator Maya Torres and local mountain guide Walter Briggs, Ethan traveled north toward Black Ridge Pass to begin a full investigation into the road's history. Walter had spent most of his life living near the mountains surrounding the pass. According to him, local residents avoided driving the road after sunset whenever possible. Some refused to speak about the disappearances entirely. Others believed the road itself was somehow responsible. Before entering the mountain route, the crew stopped at a small roadside diner less than 20 miles from the southern entrance. According to Walter, it was the last place most travelers stopped before crossing Black Ridge Pass.
At 5:42 a.m.,
Ethan Cole and his crew officially entered Black Ridge Pass. According to local transportation records, nearly 300 vehicles cross the mountain route every week. Yet despite the road's dangerous reputation, traffic that morning was unusually light. For nearly 20 minutes, the crew passed only a single vehicle traveling in the opposite direction. Walter Briggs later admitted that something already felt wrong. The fog was heavier than normal for that time of year, and the higher they climbed into the mountains, the quieter the road became. Around 6:13 a.m., Maya noticed the first technical problem. Their GPS signal suddenly disappeared.
At first, Ethan assumed the mountains were interfering with the connection. But minutes later, all 3 crew members lost cellular service completely. Then the vehicle radio began producing short bursts of distorted static. Walter immediately told Ethan to keep driving. According to him, stopping anywhere along Black Ridge Pass after sunrise was something local drivers avoided whenever possible.
At 6:47 a.m., Ethan's crew emerged from the northern tunnel. What appeared on the other side immediately caught Walter's attention. A narrow side road branched away from Black Ridge Pass and disappeared into the forest. None of the crew had seen it on any official map. Walter insisted the road had never been there before. Ethan initially assumed it was an abandoned service route, but the closer they looked, the stranger it became. The pavement appeared relatively new. The road signs showed no names, and there were no tire tracks anywhere along the entrance. Maya checked their GPS once again. The road did not appear on the screen, yet it was clearly visible directly in front of them. Against Walter's advice, Ethan decided to investigate. Minutes later, the crew turned onto the unnamed road. Less than 10 minutes after leaving Black Ridge Pass, the unnamed road came to an abrupt end. Waiting at the edge of the forest was a large concrete structure, partially hidden by the fog. None of the crew had expected to find a building so deep inside the mountains. There were no power lines, no nearby roads, no signs identifying its purpose. According to Walter Briggs, the structure had never existed when he was younger. Yet the building showed surprisingly little damage, despite appearing decades old. As the crew moved closer, Maya noticed something unusual near the entrance. Tire tracks. Fresh tire tracks. For the first time since discovering the unnamed road, there was evidence that someone else had been there recently. Ethan immediately decided to document the entire site. But before entering the structure, Walter asked everyone to stop. Something carved into the concrete wall had caught his attention.
As Ethan documented the names carved into the wall, Maya noticed something unusual near the bottom of the list. Several names had dates beside them. The dates matched the exact days those individuals were officially reported missing. But one name immediately stood out: Daniel Mercer, the truck driver whose disappearance had started the entire investigation. Walter slowly moved his flashlight lower. Beneath the final name was a short sentence carved into the concrete: "The road always brings them back." Nobody spoke for several seconds. Then Maya discovered a second doorway hidden behind a collapsed section of the wall.
Why did they seal this entrance?
Inside was a small room filled with photographs. Hundreds of photographs. Every image showed vehicles somewhere along Black Ridge Pass. Some photographs were decades old. Others appeared surprisingly recent. But one photograph stopped Ethan immediately. The image showed a vehicle entering Black Ridge Pass only 2 days earlier. It was their SUV.
The photograph had been taken before the crew arrived, before they had even begun the investigation. For the first time, Ethan considered leaving immediately. Then, Walter noticed something else. In the corner of the photograph stood a person watching the vehicle from the fog. The figure's face was impossible to identify, but according to Walter, he had seen that same figure once before, more than 30 years earlier, on the day Daniel Mercer disappeared.
The investigation into Black Ridge Pass officially ended 3 weeks later. Ethan Cole never discovered who created the structure hidden beyond the unnamed road. The figure in the photograph was never identified. And despite extensive searches, no official records of the building were ever found. Today, Black Ridge Pass remains open to traffic. Hundreds of drivers cross the road every year. Most arrive safely. Some report strange experiences, and a few never return. But according to local residents, one warning still survives. If Black Ridge Pass lets you leave once, don't ever come back.